I just had to show you this. Look, I'm coding and I realised on Oasis that 70 minutes recording time left as well, so that's a good sign. And look, it's just got this message. I always like listening to Ghost Kitchen or any like trance or hard house or hard dance. I haven't listened to hard dance for ages. The point is, look, it chooses a random thing like YouTube randomly selects in the algorithm, but it controls that, overrides any of the stuff I do. Anyway, so this look at this. This is like media. Angel, the trumpet announcer, I turn your cipher now, and it's like lighting up. Digital angel, like angel digital, So do you see? Now it's in the Oasis. This is the Oasis creating, Angel's creating the Oasis, and and God's kitchen, what am I brewing up? I'm building this Oasis. We're all building it together. And I just checked on GitHub the last month. I didn't see this feature before. Oh yeah, I thought, yeah, I'm plugging in Apollo, by the way, if I forget. I'm just wrapping. So I added GraphQL to the RESTful API. The RESTful API deployed now since last October. Now version 10, version 11, or 0.010, sorry, or 0.011 alpha. And what I'm going to do is go into my detail because the Chinese turn up soon. I'm just celebrating. Oh yeah, I'm not showing anyone. This is the Oasis world, the Oasis platform, and you can see the menu options so far. This is what people Scott's really helping generate generously to to help finish the UI. So this is what I managed to get done. You edit my own. I did this last year. I just added stuff to the menus basically. So you can view avatar, search avatar, karma, view current karma ratings, profile karma ratings, view avatar karma, view search karma Akashic records, load data, send data, manage data, search data. It's going to be off chain stuff in there too. We different providers, manage providers, manage auto replication, auto failure, load balancing across the different providers. So basically, that automatically replicates your data across the internet eventually for redundancy, and that's also like backing up your data. But this is also like so one goes down and everyone keep running. So one network like Holochain or Ethereum goes down, Oasis won't like even go down for a second, like Mr. Beat, just keep going. So 100% like redundancy, 100% uptime basically. It'll never go down, and load balance, and it's also the fastest network in the world. Because it will basically load balance and die internet eventually. That's the big vision. And then the providers implement, mostly implemented. Holochain is waiting for RSM to work on Windows, and that can be done. RSM can be upgraded. And C's done, EOCI done, Ethereum done, IVS halfway, about to be integrated with Go, generative objects. So we're going to get sorted from that. Thank you very much, Walter. Listening. ActivityPub soon. MongoDB's done. SQLite half done. Neo4j half done. So I just got to finish just these ones, and you get relational support, graph support, and once ready is object document, which is for MongoDB. It's done. And you can do. I'm gonna plug in the our world as well, so that will now link to our world. I'm going to compile it with WebGL, so hopefully that should launch the our world 3D map in the web client. And also going to have a link to download the Android version as well. Yeah, probably in the next few days. That's cool. And they're going to go to Seeds. Just finished plugging the Seeds API now, adding the Karma avatar system to it, and then as you saw my last checking, and then I'm going to link the mapping. Ideally, what I like to finish implementing these. These are half done, and the park stuff. And it's all like. Yeah, but I just want, I don't know, I need money now because over like 6 weeks rent, and I'm about, I run out of money, but I trust the universe always comes through, so, but I know it's going to come from Haifa, like I just have to get this CISO API out, and I always say planning to get a proposal submitted, and these apps, the first one is Our World, it's that you better launch the Our World, the Our World Android thing, you better like download it eventually. And you better launch it here as well. Like the map launches it, but also you can launch it from here. It'll probably be installed apps, like a default installed apps, because Apple is its first our app, which is a which is part of the system because it's a planet, and then the rest of satellite apps and games that plug in, which are also OAPs or moons. But the our world OAP is a special type of OAP. It's a planet, not just a moon. So the planet has the moons orbiting it. But a star ODK creates our world and the moons. So that's how it works. So you can start talking about it for ages, and you can start seeing the UI to it now. So we're going to get the web UI done. And these are linking to Star to deploy, or use Star in a background. Or it'll probably link to it because I think it starts running desktop because it's command line interface. So it'll basically just a download. I think it might be do some stuff. I probably will link it to web UI as well, actually, so you can do it on here. But we have the option to either download or do it for the web array eventually. But to start off with, it will just download Star ODK, and then when you click this, it'll link to that function. Eventually, I'll integrate the desktop and the web together so they talk to each other. So if you do things on a Star, and it will launch into here and do an options screen here. And likewise, and you do something in here, and it will launch the right Star on your desktop. You download it if you've got it installed. If you have got it installed, it will launch it and go to that screen in Star ODK. Just so you know, I'm a master at deep integration. I integrate to the point where everything just merges into one singularity, unity consciousness. That's my mission. But I'm going to integrate like you've never seen integration done before to do like to perfection, so you can't integrate anymore. To everything becomes one unity consciousness. Anyway, it makes sense. Crest. Viewcrest, Mission X, these are all half done. Developers, so click on that, and then you go to the API. So you can go to manually with API platform.world. You don't have to worry about this bit because it all redirects there. So I'll show you. There's a lot of time, a lot of work sorting this stuff out, hosting. So this stuff you see, not just coding, but stuff in the background when I'm like doing stuff like hosting stuff. Actually, yeah, I'm glad in this video. I hadn't done a video for ages, so I needed to do this. So that's my Chinese ordered up and some of my GitHub stuff and Apollo documentation. Just refreshing myself. I started looking at it in 2019, and then I realized then that I should build a REST API first, and then I can wrap Apollo around it. Apollo then wraps around it, and it automatically creates a GraphQL endpoint to it, API to it. So I didn't have to create two separate APIs. I thought, well, I could just create a GraphQL straight away, but sometimes I know there's a lot of advantages to GraphQL. It's just worth looking into it more. But I did the research before, and there are some pros of REST API as well. And sometimes things don't support GraphQL yet, and then because I want Oasis to be everywhere and forwards backwards compatible and provide both, so that's why GraphQL would be the way forward probably because it's faster and more efficient. But for now, like develop this one first. It's the REST API, but then the GraphQL can be done instantly. It'll just wrap around that. Anyway, so check that out, version 10 alpha, but version 11 I'm about to release, which is going to have the seeds already. The seeds API it's like in here, but like it's just like stubs that hasn't got any code behind it. Now I'm adding the code behind it. That's what I'm doing. You got new data API, you got Karma API, add data API, and Karma API. I finished the Karma API, Gifts API. I'm about to put in the badges. Gives you good. That's going to be fleshed out a lot more. Mapping API is going to be done very soon as well. I'm integrating our world into it. It's all coming together. Mission, Crest, providers done. So these things you can do in provider. I ain't got time to go for it now. I'll be over hours talking about. I've done a lot. This is like 2 years been building this. Started, but longer than that. I've been designing it for 4 or 5 years. And our world's 8 years. Since 2011 started our world. Oh, longer than 8 years. So it was 2011. So like 10 years. Yeah, so 10 years I first started dreaming of my world. When I saw Minecraft and Spyro, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I can do better there. And I thought I'd do better graphics. I love Lego, and then it just evolved more and more. And eventually in 2013, it became our world. And that's the first version, and then the third version. The second version is our world, which is a smartphone prototype AR geolocation game. Way more evolved than Pokemon Go, because I was designing this long before it came out. So you know, it's a 3D map, not a 2D map. The whole world, and yeah, and this is mapping API integrates into it. Yeah, so anyway, that's enough. And then, yeah, and then the third version, One World comes out, and that's a VR Unity like like the first version of the Oasis, that is One World, like you see in Ready Player One, and that our world, One World will evolve into Oasis. So it's basically going from my world to our world to One World to the Oasis. So that's pretty cool, eh? Because it starts off with just my world, then our world together and create a better world, and then then we working together, and One World is much more unity consciousness. Our world is real-time simulation of the world, a digital twin of the world, but it has a lot of spiritual stuff in it, but it's not like really pushing it. It's more the technology of like a distributed, decentralized Google Maps, Google Earth replacement, plus a lot more on top. You'll see soon, lots more on top. There's so much more because it's Unity game engine. It's a game, so you can gamify. So you can do way more things you can do with Google Maps. And so much stuff you can do. It's not just a 2D plane. You can just do a couple of icons. I've got a full 3D game engine, so you can imagine what I'm going to do with it. It's going to be mental. And then one World comes out, and that's Unity Consciousness VR. And they integrate as well, so you can access the players from both of them, and you can see them. Like, you go in the park in our world and look for the phone in AR mode, and you see people logged into One World, because we're One World in the past, and then especially I won't go into it. We go back in time to save the planet, basically. So One World, we go back in time and save the planet, and yeah, and then you can see people through portals like in the park, and and same geolocation on the map. But it's all dense vegetation before we built civilization. So you come back and you stand in the same coordinates where that park is in the One World, which is a virtual world. And then you'll see real players in AR stuff. And yeah, obviously after using the sharing the camera, so you can see people doing quests and things in the park. And you have teams, so you can do people, so you have to coordinate stuff. So you have people in the past logged in One World, and people in the present, in our world, logged in doing teamwork and coordinating, passing items and stuff through portals and sending messages and communicating and working together on joint quests and missions. It's all coming out. I said, maybe I should have said it. I've had this is what I've been designing. Like, I've had all this in my head for 7 years. Since 2013, 14, 15, and I got downloaded most of Our World and One World. It was originally Our World version 1, Our World version 2. And version 2 is now renamed to One World, because Our World slogan is together we can create a better world. One World slogan is together we created a better world. Do you get it? So this one is together we can, which we will do, because it's based on where we are now. And then One World comes later on, where we learn to work together in unity consciousness, and then it says we did create a better world. You know, we can. This one now it says we can create a better world, and the other one we created a better world. That's in past tense. That's in it's done. Going to 5D, it's Ascension training platform. Yeah, anyway, so that's it. I can't remember what I was babbling about now. Oh yeah, the whole point of doing this video was just, I wasn't going to do an update, and you can download the Postman file as well. It's the easy way to get started with it. It's a dev plan roadmap, we get Hackathon group donations, and you want to learn to code, you can join Just the Academy. Release your full potential and learn to code like holistically with yoga, meditation, mindfulness to break your day up, make you more effective at learning and better for you and improve your health. So it's like we care about the people who work here, and gamify, and you gain karma for training, and gain karma for coding and completing the quests on GitHub, and you complete quests when you're doing Just the Academy. So the avatar system in Our World and Oasis and One World is the same one that's built into the Oasis API, which all this stuff's built on top of. And there can be many more websites, apps, and games coming out. And that's really got a few partners, people interested in building on this. So it's all happening. I feel like I should have done this a long time. I need a drink. Not alcohol, water. So I stopped drinking alcohol years ago. Yeah, so anyway, I wasn't going to do that. It's good to talk through this really. I do have to do a demo. Then this is what I'll be showing when I do a demo soon. But I'm just waiting for the UI to be finished, which is what you saw. Yeah. Because right now, like, I didn't show you this bit earlier. You got the login. Oh. Oops, that's embarrassing. Well, that was working, so that's what I'm talking about. The cat's coming back. That's good. When you can log in, a pop-up used to pop up, log in, and then you can sign up and create an avatar or log in as an avatar. But I'm halfway through linking that into the API, but now I've handed it to the web developer, Scott. Thank you, brother. Thank you. We appreciate it. He owns he's going to own like 2,000 karma or more. There's quests for these in the GitHub. So that's what I'm just currently integrating the Seeds API. No, integrating the Karma avatar system Seeds API, so you can you earn Karma when you donate your seeds, when you rewarded with seeds, when you send an invitation, pay with seeds. But you get a bit of Karma pay with seeds, and then even more when you reward people with seeds, and even more when you donate with seeds. And that's how I put 2 years building the integration layer, and now I'm building the magic layer basically. The integration layer was all the plumbing infrastructure, and now I'm building the magic layer on top, which is using the power. So that's the only code to add the Karma for when you donate your seeds. It's like 2 lines, one line of code really. But 2 lines of code altogether. So this one's adding you're a superhero for donating seeds. But if the other ones you get use as a hero, it's still good. You can build up to a superhero because it's more Karma. And then it's the app, website, service name. You've got the Karma in. What if the app, website, or game or anything integrates this Oasis Seeds API? Basically, that's what it is. Yeah, the name of it and the description of it, and the avatar ID. Yeah, basically what avatar you're sending it and what avatar is receiving it, how much. That's part of the USRA stuff, memo. Yeah, I might change it actually. So I'm still working on this, so you know. That might be built in actually. Yeah, so adding superhero, and then you get the superhero badge or gift it's called, which is the badges in here, and donate with seeds gift. Yeah, and I need to drink water now, so yeah, so that's it really. Pay with seeds, and then you got the other ones down here, but that's just showing you how little code it is. Like it's using EOSIO, which is, I won't get too technical. Just passing the dependency injection into the seeds controller, seeds manager. Yeah, I don't go into it. Yeah, so you're passing in here. You can see when you create a seeds manager, passing EOSIO Oasis instance. And yeah, anyway, and the avatar manager, you passing the Oasis that there. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I need a drink, water. But actually, I did part 2 in a second. Hang on a minute.